Millions are stranded in Ukraine, unable to find safe passage out of the country, which has been under attack by Russia for nearly 3 weeks now. But millions have been able to escape to neighboring countries like Poland. And that includes our next guest, Vitaly Verbenko. Vitaly, thank you so much for joining us during this incredibly stressful time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. I'm glad to be able to share my experience in what happened. It's very harrowing experience that I hope nobody has to go through. But people are going through this every single day, and much worse situations where I was in.
Well, tell us more about that. We're glad you're now in a safe space to be able to speak to us. So where exactly are you, and how did you manage to get there?
I am in Warsaw, Poland. I was able to cross into the Polish territory on March 11th, and I mean, now I'm safe. But the past 2 weeks were very crazy.
Well, we've seen the reports, we've seen the footage of Russian troops firing at people just trying to get through checkpoints. So, what was it like knowing this, and how difficult was it to actually get across the border into Poland for you?
Well, if I can just start from the beginning, I woke up on the 24th of February in Kiev, and my car was at the mechanic. I live in Kiev. I've been in Kiev for a while, for a few years. So all morning on the 24th, I tried to get it out, and that is when bombs started flying over Kiev, over many cities in Ukraine. The whole day I was in a state of shock. I was in panic. On the 25th February, the next day, my fiance, she has an aunt that lives in about southwest of Kiev, and I went there and barely got there because traffic was snarled and there was no gas at all anywhere. And I was locked in that little village for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Half of that time we've had no electricity.
What was that like, knowing that your country was under attack and that you might have to go and fight for your country? What was that like?
I'll be honest, I had a streak of patriotism, I guess. Everybody had like high emotions on the first week of this war, and I did hear explosions, shells, helicopters. I felt that if the war did come to our doorstep, because we had two families with us with little children, I thought, okay, I will have to get a gun and maybe hide in the woods, because we had woods next to our village. And I thought, that's my fate. That's what I'm gonna have to do. But after a while, I changed my opinion, and the fathers and their wives and their children that were with us, they decided to get into their cars the moment that our neighboring village had a shell fall on it and injure a woman. Suppose that there was a quick shift in our sort of like this mentality that we gotta save ourselves and our families. And 6 days later, we all headed to the Polish border, and I mean, we got women and children across, but I crossed the border a little bit later.
And how were you able to leave? Because we know Ukraine does have a conscription in place, a military conscription for men ages 18 to 60. So what did that mean for you? How were you able to go into Poland?
I be honest, I was one of the lucky ones. I am a Canadian, so I basically had help from the Canadian embassy, and I'm extremely grateful for them, for their help. If it wasn't for their help, I might have still been in Ukraine. However, I was able to convince the border agent that I just happened to be a Ukrainian citizen because I was working in Ukraine, but my home is in Canada, which is true.
And Vitaly, what is your greatest fear right now?
Um, my biggest fear is that the people of Ukraine, um, Ukraine may look different in a short time, or maybe in the near future, or in the long term. I fear for, I pray for the civilians, for the peaceful civilians. I pray for the lives that future generations will have to live in Ukraine, in a country that has so much death and suffering, and the rebuilding efforts are going to have to be massive. And who knows what form it will take, how Ukraine will look like, what the people will be like. It's so many questions.
Well, Vitaly, we really appreciate your time today, and we hope you and your loved ones, you and your fiance, can return home safely at some point, and hopefully it's soon.
Thank you.